In the top stories, BARP head voices concern about senior citizen homes. Police move illegal city vendors, and a new medical tourism initiative is launched. Welcome to Nation News for Friday, November 20th, 2015. I am Natasha Beckles. President of the Barbados Association of Retired Persons, Ed Bushell, has called for regular inspection of senior citizens' homes, both by government and the relatives of elderly people. He made the call as he expressed concern about some of the facilities which house the elderly in Barbados.
Most of them are trying to do as good a job as they're able to do, but there's a lack. It's obvious there's a lack of adequate training from some of the staff, lack of proper facilities. Like a lot of these places have two floors, and sometimes once the elderly person goes upstairs, they're up there for good because they're not coming back. They're not able to move up and down freely on the stairway. So that's a major concern. So we need to ensure that there's adequate training going on for people running these facilities.
Mr. Bushell said BARP also continues to be alarmed about the physical and financial abuse of older people.
We keep hearing stories of elderly people being physically abused, sometimes in their own homes by their close friends, well, not friends, but relatives and other caregivers. And we're very concerned about this because sometimes these caregivers are dependent on the same elderly persons for the financial help and for housing, but they still abuse these old people.
Prime Minister Frondell Stewart has signed on the dotted line for a US $170 million loan agreement with the Export-Import Bank of China. The loan will go toward the redevelopment of Sam Lord's Castle into a 5-star hotel under the Wyndham brand. Speaking from government headquarters on Friday, Mr. Stewart said there were many benefits to be gained from the new development, including the addition of 100 vacation ownership units and 350 guest rooms.
The tourism industry will also realize benefits in terms of employment when the project is being established, as well as in its operational phase. As a leader in the global commitment, the corporate social responsibility, and the environment, Barbadian communities will also benefit from the resort's participation in community environmental activities. Overall, the facilities and amenities to be provided by the addition of the Wyndham brand to our tourism landscape will greatly assist Barbados in attracting a larger share of the tourism market.
Police officers swooped down on Swan Street, High Street, and other areas of the city on Friday, asking a number of vendors who were operating without a license to leave. Some were forced to take up their fruit and vegetable trays and move, while some store owners had to take mannequins and clothing racks back inside their stores. The vendors said such police action is common when Christmas is approaching, but one store owner said it was bad timing.
Right now things is hard. I don't think this is the right time for the government to send out police to remove all this because we have to pay taxes in order to pay the same police. All year round this mannequin was outside here and it's not obstructing anybody. So I don't see why now the government had to send out all these police and moving the mannequin. How they want the business people to pay the taxes if they do this thing, because this is the only time you can make some money. Okay, and the economy cannot generate no growth when you stop all the people from doing their business. I think that something has to be done because our business people was out here from since January, the hard time, February, March, come down, we was making the money.
Barbados is set to benefit from the multi-billion-dollar medical tourism industry. Cardiologist Dr. Alfred Sparman announced the new thrust of the 4H Hospital and Sparman Clinic at a media briefing on Friday, during which he introduced 3 doctors, cardiologist Dean Heller, plastic surgeon Robert Parisi, and plastic and reconstructive surgeon Lawrence Birnbaum. The focus will be on plastic, orthopedic, and cardiac surgeries. The doctor said their services will be available to Barbadians, but they are also seeking wealthy patients from other jurisdictions.
Tourism, there's a huge opportunity to take a lot of the people that go to other islands and other countries and make this an epicenter for medical tourism. We can, I think, accomplish that throughout the Caribbean. And it's a beautiful island. It's a great place for people to stay. And as I said, it's a great facility here. It has everything you can need to do all the procedures that we're able to do. And I think it's a huge opportunity for Barbados, as well as for the people of Barbados, and then to bring in people from other places to make this a destination, like you said, for medical tourism.
Principal of the Cave campus of University of the West Indies, Professor Eugene Barito, has taken regional academics to task for ignoring the work of one of their colleagues. In a hard-hitting commentary on late Grenadian-born Dr. Patrick Emmanuel, she said there was silence surrounding the work of her former mentor, whose career with UWI dated back to the early 1960s. Professor Barito made the comments while delivering the 10th Patrick Emmanuel Memorial Lecture on Thursday night. She says she was unaware of any panel which sought to debate his contributions.
I call attention to what I view as the inexplicable silences around a body of scholarship that offered much to illuminate conditions of political and social life in the Caribbean. My lecture operates simultaneously at two levels. My thrust is to expose the occlusions, omissions, and silences around the scholarship of Patrick Emmanuel. In the process of doing this, I affirm the relevance to Caribbean political economy of the political ideas to which Patrick Emmanuel dedicated his academic life.
You may have heard that government is seeking money to improve the physical structure of Oyston's Bay Gardens and reduce flooding in the area. Nation News visited the popular Christchurch spot to find out how Barbadians feel about the plan.
I think that we need to allow, there's a grand stage there which caters on Friday nights only, but I find that the stalls on the front here are kind of left out in the celebrations. Example, the Food and Wine Rum Festival right now going on, they have their setup in the back there in the center, and it's, as you can see, they're just getting like flags and stuff. So this section needs to be paid a little more attention to.
There are more important things that need to be done right here. They're looking at things that can just sit a while, you know, and there are things that need to be done that they're not interested in doing.
I think it's an excellent idea, because for a place that gets an award every year, we need to also do the sprucing up on a yearly basis.
Keep the place in a proper condition, because I hear service have a lot of patrons every night, and the maintenance of the area needs to be better, because especially when the rainfall is periodic flooding, and when the rainfall, like 6 hours after the rainfall, the water still don't be run off properly.
Sport. Reigning champions, the Guyana Jaguars, are in a strong position against Barbados Pride at the end of the first day of the third round of the WICB Professional Cricket League Regional 4-Day Tournament. Playing at the Guyana National Stadium, they reached 170 for 2 at stumps. Ashley Nurse and Suleiman Ben were the 2 wicket takers. And finally, a Tennessee woman has been reunited with her dog that disappeared 7 years ago from her old home in Ohio. Mishka was 3 years old when she vanished from the backyard of her owner, Paula Graff. Luckily, an identification microchip was implanted under her skin, and it was scanned only this Tuesday when animal rescuers found the dog. Ms. Graff says she never gave up hope that she would be reunited with the Pekingese Terrier mix. And that's Nation News for Friday. For more news, log on to nationnews.com, as well as YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. Remember to pick up your papers over the weekend or subscribe to our e-paper. And look out for the Weekend Buzz a little later. Thank you so much for joining us.